we'll start with an opening statement from Coach.
First of all, thank you guys for coming out and covering us. We appreciate it. I want to thank the fans. I think it's been record numbers this year. 107,542. The students have been great. Our numbers each week for students have just been fantastic. And I think overall, without kind of looking at all the statistics and things like that, my gut feeling after watching the game, I thought we played well. Obviously, early on, we started out really strong. I don't know if I've seen a better half of special teams in my 23 years of doing this. That's been something that we've worked really hard on and invested in, since we've been here, and we're really starting to get some real positive returns. Obviously, we got to get the field goal situation cleaned up. That's unacceptable. Not pleased with that at all. And I think, I don't want this to come off the wrong way. We are going to enjoy wins around here, but there's still some things that we have to be honest with ourselves, some things that we got to get cleaned up. Defensively, I thought the turnovers were huge. We've been, emphasizing that all off season. Obviously the ones that we got tonight, I think most of them were on tackles, either just jarring hits or strips and things like that. So I'm pleased with the progress that we're making there. We've been playing really good defense when you talk about scoring defense, which to me is the most important number that there is out there. Offensively, I think, obviously everybody's game plan is to stop Saquon Barkley in the run game. We have to get better in that area, but I love the fact that we have so many different guys that can hurt you, like DaeSean Hamilton and a number of guys that can go out there and make plays on the perimeter. So we got to get the running game cleaned up. We got to be better. There's no doubt about it. But that's another kind of example of why we said we also wanted to use Saquon Barkley as a kickoff returner, because it's a play that we know we can get the ball into his hands in space, and obviously it paid off for us today. So overall, great win as a program. Really pleased. We're 1-0. We're going to enjoy this win tonight, and then we'll move on to the next opponent tomorrow. There's areas that we have to get better, and for where we want to go and what we want to do, we've got to get better. We've got to identify those things. We've got to spend a lot of time on them on Sunday and Monday, working it. Finding ways to get better in those areas. A lot of it's just fundamentals. A lot of it's just finishing blocks on offense. Defensively, being a little bit more consistent, gap sound, things like that. But overall, I feel like, obviously we played well. I think that's a good team. You got to give Coach Allen a lot of credit. You got to give their team a lot of credit. You look at the people they've played and how they've played them. One of the better passing offenses in the league, and I thought our pass defense tonight, was excellent. It was excellent. So that's about all I got. Open up to questions.
Raise your hand. We'll get a mic to you.
James, over to your left. After last week's game, which was so grueling and took a lot of energy to win, obviously, were you concerned about the team's physical, mental condition, mindset going into tonight's game?
Well, I think you're always concerned, and obviously after coming off the road and things like that, in an emotional, tough game against a tough opponent, yeah. But I thought we handled it the right way this week. We limited reps for some guys. We did a lot when it comes to regen and massages and all the things that we typically do. Talked about hydration, talked about nutrition, talked about sleep. All those things, and then modified practice a little bit. So I thought we handled it the right way. I thought starting fast tonight, really helped us. What I wasn't pleased was the inconsistency. I thought first quarter we played really well. I thought the fourth quarter we played pretty well. And I felt like we took the foot off the gas a little bit in the second and third quarter. And let me say this though, you also got to give them credit. I think their head coach does a really, really good job. Their guys play really hard. They're sound. They got some tough schemes, and defensively, I mean, obviously that's his background, and they've done a nice job. So, but we got to play. We got to play four-quarter football. Last year we talked about starting out fast. I think we've done that this year, but we still got to be able to play for 4 quarters at a very, very high level.
James. How proud are you of DaeSean Hamilton, setting the record tonight, his career, and his night?
I'm really proud. I made a big deal out of it in the locker room with the guys. I think he's a great example for our younger players. I think he's a great example in general. You know, he gets here as a true freshman. He's got a pre-existing injury, sits out his entire freshman year. Next year, you know, plays the redshirt freshman, has a huge year. You know, 1 year he leads the Big Ten in catches. The next year's numbers go way down. He stays positive. He just keeps working and grinding through it. And he's had a great career. You know, he's been a great leader. He's been a great teammate. He's a great student. And they've been playing football, you know, at Penn State for a long time. There's been a bunch of really good players. So whatever you can say that, you know, you're the all-time leader at Penn State, that's pretty special. I'm not even the all-time leader at East Stroudsburg in anything anymore, and this guy is the all-time leader at Penn State, which is really, really impressive.
Hi, James.
How you doing?
When you see Saquon take a kickoff for a touchdown, throw a touchdown, is there really anything that he can't do? And how much fun does he have? Do you have, the coaches, the players, seeing him involved in all of these different facets?
Well, I think that's where kind of when you watch us play, I think that's the thing to me that I'm impressed by in watching us play is, you know, we're not one of these teams that's just going to line up in the eye and smash it down your throat. And, you know, the running game, if it's there, you know, with our RPO game, you know, we're gonna make big plays in the run game. If not, we're gonna pull out, throw it on the perimeter. You know, Saquon can hurt you as a returner. He can hurt you as a receiver, as we've seen a lot this season. He's also obviously one of the better true running backs in terms of carrying the ball in traditional running game, and then in kick return. So, you know, once again, you know, the game has evolved and the game has changed, and you have to take advantage of your playmakers in a variety of different ways. And Saquon, you know, makes it easy to do that because, you know, you have some running backs that are really good runners, but they're not good out of the backfield when it comes to, you know, receiving the football or whatever it may be. So he's got so many tools in his toolbox, and, you know, every week for us, it's how do we take advantage of them to, you know, to give the defense and our opponents you know, issues.
Hey, Coach. Can you talk about the huge advantage you guys have had in field position, how you're making them go the full distance of the field, the job Blake's doing with that, and just how much pride and maybe motivation the guys have in covering those punts?
Yeah, we talk about it all the time, drive start average being one of the most important you know, metrics in a football game. You know, we talk about it all the time. We take tremendous pride in it. I think that's probably one of the biggest differences in our program in year 4 compared to years 1 and 2. Is drive start and field position and punting. And I mean, you know, obviously everybody's focused, and I am as well, that we got to get our field goal units cleaned up. But I think Tyler's been awesome on kickoff. It's great to see guys like Irvin Charles. You know, Irvin is making so many big plays for us on special teams, and that's just going to continue to grow and build confidence with him and spill in, you know, to his role on offense eventually. So I just, you know, I'm really, really pleased with Charles Huff and what we're able to do on special teams. We got a kicker, we got a punter, we got a long snapper, and then we got a bunch of athletes that can run down the field, play fast, and make plays for us. So, you know, I'm very, very pleased and happy with the, you know, with the results that we're getting on special teams. And we're going to spend time to get our field goal unit fixed because, you know, that's kind of the missing piece right now for us on special teams.
Time for 2 more.
Heisman trophies.
I like your socks.
I like my socks. Thank you. Would you wear them?
No.
Okay.
No, but the green, mint green shirt, green tie, and green socks is strong. It's
Brave.
strong. Yeah,
Anyway, brave.
Brave and strong.
Yeah, yeah.
It's impressive.
Heisman trophies, would you agree, are valuable above and beyond who gets them to a program? You agree with that or no? To a program at large.
I do.
Okay.
But as you know, I really don't want to talk about individual awards during the season.
You're not going to have to because that's not what the question is about.
Okay, I appreciate it.
It's about, do you ever think about the Heisman when you call plays? Because the halfback pass almost looked like this could be a highlight play for him.
Once again, you said I wasn't going to have to talk
Well,
about
that's not
a specific award, and then the next question was about a specific award.
It's about the game.
I'll be happy to talk to you after the season about individual awards. For us, we are big believers that with group and team success comes individual recognition, comes individual awards, comes individual success. But it's on the team. And I understand you got to ask the question. I'm not going to talk about individual awards in the middle of a football season. I get it.
Okay.
I know, I understand you got to ask, but it goes against what we believe in. We're focused on winning and putting our players in the best position to be successful. And after the wins and the success of the total organization, whatever comes individually after that is awesome.
James, to your right, how much do you want to settle on one right tackle between Chaz and Will, and rather than rotating those guys every couple series?
Yeah, I think you'd always like to settle on one group and one guy, but the game of football doesn't work like that. You're going to have bumps, you're going to have bruises, and it's a next man in mentality. The next guy's got to go in and do a really good job. I think long term it's going to help us, but yeah, I think you'd love to go all season with the same 5 starters on the offensive line. I have heard of some teams that have done that. I've never been a part of it in my 23 years where you have the same 5 offensive linemen play all year long. So we're just going to keep developing those guys and keep getting them ready.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, guys.